Hello, everyone. My name is Nina, and welcome back to another episode of the Lion City Wrestling Podcast. So, today, let's talk wrestling with pro wrestler and co founder of the third and youngest promotion in Singapore, Ring of Rebirth, the Eurasian Dragon. Hi, Dragon. How are you?
Hi Nina, thanks for having me here today. Thanks for having me online on this chat today. Very
Yeah,
happy to be here.
thanks for agreeing to be on this podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see you too. And I think the last time we saw was at the Ring of Rebirth show taping.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
was it in August? That was last month, right?
That
Or July?
was July. That was about. Oh no, actually it was 30th June. If I'm not wrong, it's like 2 days
Was it
after
in June?
30th June. Yeah, it's almost July at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, time has been flying really fast for me.
Yes, it has, it has.
So, how are things with you with Ring of Rebirth? I heard that you just had a training session today.
Yeah. Training session with Afi is actually here. Yeah. Hey, hi. Hey guys. Yeah,
Hi, Erfi.
think that the last time we saw Urfi, for those who attended the taping for episodes 8 and 9, right? Then we saw Urfi become a heel. So he's not a very nice guy right now. And what better way to not be a very nice guy by learning from someone who's also not a very nice guy to his co-workers, right? With myself. So yeah, today we just had a one-on-one session over here in Ring of Rebirth. But I think something that always, I wouldn't say set us apart, but something always unique about us is that we offered like one-on-one like personal sessions, but we also do like the standard group classes, and they vary in intensity and in what's covered in the lesson. And all that.
Mm.
So today was just one of those one-on-one days, and it's according to Urfi's time. Like he wanted to, I think, go home by 4 o'clock or something. So we settled on like 12 plus training time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Nice. I mean, I like that how, like I mean, I guess you're open to like, okay, who wants to do solo training as well and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that's something there's opportunity for the trainees, right?
Yeah. I think like in Singapore, almost every professional wrestler is like working full time or in NS or studying full time.
Yeah.
So it's not all the time that they can meet the central training or the group training sessions and all that. So like we've always like asked people to sometimes pitch their preferred timings, and then we go along with that. I mean, as per our availability, like it's not as if I'm free like 24/7, but I try lah. I
Yeah, I
think
mean, you yourself is a busy man. You also have a full-time job, right?
yeah. And then also a kid who's like still really
Yeah.
young, 1.5 years. So yeah, it takes up a lot of time. As well as this whole not just like training as a pro wrestler, but also doing the whole coaching and promoting bit and all that. So quite a lot of stuff on the plate. I find that I'm like fatigued and exhausted a lot more now than I was. But then again, like maybe I'm not very young anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, just catching up maybe.
Once you hit the 30s, things will change a lot.
Yeah. That's why. I think we are close to the same age, if I'm not wrong.
When are you born?
1988. Hence the whole
Oh.
dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I
So
see.
so like not closer to 40 than I am to 30 now lah. But still surviving, still surviving. I think maybe we can get into that later. I've changed up my lifestyle or like my workout routines and all that to like go with the times and all that.
Nice.
So just trying to aim for longevity. Like Nick and myself, Nick is an aero sniper, Nick, the only other veteran guy in Arwah. So, like, we talked about it the last time we wrestled in Malaysia, how like I think we're gonna try for 50. Because like all the modern grades are putting us to shame, right? They're wrestling in their 40s, 50s and all that.
Yeah.
So we want to try for 50, and if possible maybe 60. But 60 is pushing it. But definitely no longer 40 anymore. Have to go beyond that. It's just so much to see and do. Especially like in our region, we're always calling like
Yeah.
Southeast Asian wrestling a growing industry.
Yeah,
And even
yeah.
though we are like 10, 12 years old, I still feel we're barely scratching the surface. Right? Like I think you've been there from the start. Seen like the whole evolution and
Yeah.
like as fans ourselves and as like people in the industry ourselves, we can see like there's just so much potential. A lot of roadblocks also, but there's a lot of potential and we want to like see it through, We want to be there with the kids like they reach that promised land.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when I see from like the beginning and how now there's 3 promotions.
Yeah.
So there's like more opportunities even for like people to try out pro wrestling now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and also I think I mentioned to like other people as well, like how each
Mm.
promotion also has like its own style. So
Yes, yes.
if you're not too keen on one particular promotion style, you can try out somewhere else.
Yeah,
And it's all in Singapore also.
yeah. Like,
Which is
like
so cool.
admittedly, like I have guys who come in like they are like halfway package already. So it's like just me doing some like finishing touches. Like got some
Uh-huh.
of like former Grapple Max guys come in, then maybe they work like a couple matches or they like
Mm.
grade two or something like that. And then like oh okay, so you can just like kind of like remodel them according to your house style.
Uh-huh.
And then
Uh-huh.
you got like some ex SPW trainees come in also. Some of them also had matches, some maybe not. And then you just like oh okay, like you can like just guide them towards something a bit more easily. Yeah. But
Mm.
of course, you got those coming in from scratch. Those are like the most fun challenges because, like, yeah, you will have to teach really like from the beginning and all that from the ground up. But it's a nice like interplay of like people who already have like certain notions of wrestling or certain
Mhm.
experiences from elsewhere and all that. Versus like those who are like really fresh and all that. Then of course you got like the two uncles, like me and Nick. Who are, like
Uncles
yeah,
really.
it's a nice like it's a nice mix. Eclectic, in a way. Yeah,
Mm. Okay, so you mentioned like the I mean you you and me were like the uncles of
yeah,
Ring of Rebirth, right? I do
yeah.
notice like your roster is a lot of young people, like Airfee, for
Way
example.
younger than us, man. Way
Yeah.
young. Some of
So
them
is
like
it something that how is the age range in your roster right now?
age range is mostly Gen Zs. So
Hmm.
it's quite a dichotomy because it's no secret that Ring of Rebirth does like the old school. We're trying to capture the
Yeah.
territory days, not just in presentation, but also like sometimes you see like got Grapple Max guy come in passing through, or like the whole showtime thing like hit a full like story arc with us. And
Nice.
sometimes you get like SPW guys coming in to do like maybe like a couple episode arc or like maybe they like sporadically drop in here and there. So like we always
Right.
wanted to follow those territory days where we are open to like Singaporeans and regional guys like pass through. And it also helps my students in a sense because I always tell them like don't always take it from me because I'm not the most knowledgeable guy here, just the
Okay.
oldest guy here and I'm the guy that opened the company. But you should also absorb what you take from different people. So sometimes like
Mm.
I get feedback because like you said, my guys are young, right? So they can be very inquisitive,
Mm.
which is both frustrating and also room for growth at the same time. So they'll be like, hey, but this guy came in and told me like I'm supposed to like bump this way for this move, or this guy told me
Uh-huh.
I'm supposed to work this way, this match. But this other guy came in and told me to like go with the flow. Then like who am I supposed to learn from? So I always tell them like just take what works best for you and the promoter you're working for. Because like I think I'm quite fortunate. This past 1 year, during a rebirth, our active roster, like those who are wrestling regularly on shows, almost everyone has wrestled for another promotion already. Or
Mm.
maybe
Mm.
everyone has wrestled overseas. Except for a few over here, but he's wrestled for SPW. So still counts, like
The
he's
anniversary
wrestled
show,
for
right?
yeah. So I'm very blessed that or I feel blessed like for my students' behalf that they've all gotten an opportunity to like do shows abroad. Some of them even like main event shows abroad. And it's like surreal for me as like a coach. It really touches me because like I feel like for some of us like our time has like passed. Even though like I don't want to sell myself short, but it's nice to see like my guys like get this chance to do their stuff overseas,
Yeah.
featured in storylines or like say
Mm-hmm.
headline shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
cool.
because you are the one who trained them, so
Yeah,
right.
it's
So
quite
it's like
nice.
your children also in a way.
Yeah. And I've like had these children before I had my actual kids. So like in a way it kind of prepared me for maybe like my kids like puberty age or something because most of them are like barely out of puberty
Right.
anyway.
Right. So is
So
that what changed, like maybe inspire you to change your philosophy of like aiming for longevity in wrestling? Is that why?
the longevity part was covered. I was in the recorded bit, wasn't in our like off the record stuff, right?
I
Like
think it was in the
we
recorded.
talked about it,
Yeah.
recorded bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least like we go around to it about it,
Yeah.
meaning like our continuity. I think like ever since I was a kid, I was a big fan of Christian Cage. I love Christian Cage as a
Oh,
face, as a
okay,
heel.
okay.
And then like just seeing what he's done, of course, like whatever Sting and Brian Danielson is doing, uh, or even people like CM Punk. Nice
Mhm.
T-shirt you have, by the way. You know,
Thanks.
like you just see them. These are people I'm like really big fans of, like as a kid and even until now. So like to see them like still like be able to do it at their age, despite like like the years of commitment to the business. I think
Yeah.
they wrestle way much more. That's why they got TV, they got house shows. For us, like unfortunately, the demand is as such where we are only doing it like once every 2 months. But
Mm.
kudos to Grapple Max because they've reached a stage where they're doing it every month with a rotating roster. So like it's still nowhere near the hectic schedule that the Americans and Japanese
Yeah.
do. So, like to me, like I feel no excuse. If I'm wrestling like once every 2 months or every other month, because like I regularly feature for the APEC wrestling in KL as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's no excuse for me to not be able to do this past a certain age because like the bump cut is not, it doesn't tally, you see. And I've always worked a more safe style because like I have a kid now and I just never wanted to be those guys in a wheelchair. Want
Yeah.
to show like the younger generations that you can still work within the confines of safety and yet put on a compelling story for the
For
audience to buy into.
sure.
You don't always need to kill yourself or like
Yeah.
you need to like tax your heart or your lungs so much and all that. So yeah, so because of that, like I want to like work till my like at least 50. Yeah, like last
Mm.
time I told myself 40 is the cutoff, but then now like 40 coming closer, I'm like cannot lah. Still so much to like do. So 50. Yeah, if not like I feel like I didn't do myself justice or I didn't do like my contributions to pro wrestling justice because I want to be in this for the long run and all that. So
Mm.
longevity is key. I just stretch a lot more now. Like before training, after training, before gym, after gym, every night at home roll. Like I would never have done this in my 20s. In my 20s, like, oh, okay, go gym, lift like certain amount of weight, the bro science kind of stuff, like you kind of
Right.
like ego lift as they call it. But now it's like wow, just have to like know your body. It's like the
Mm.
left side more painful. Oh, okay, switch it up, lift less
Mm.
today, and then because you want to be back tomorrow doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just become more self-aware. I could still like learn to be more self-aware, more in tune with my body. Because sometimes like we all got this adrenaline and this male, like male gusto or ego or whatever. So to really learn to be more self-aware in order to like reap the fruits of like longevity, yeah, which is what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because I mean, you still have more goals in wrestling,
yeah,
basically.
I want to like maybe tag team with my daughter one day if that's possible. I was
Yeah,
doing
that
the
would be
mental
pretty cool.
ethics.
Like Ray and Dominic, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like my wife and I love the Dominic Mysterio storyline. He's like one of our favorite performers. It's incredible to see someone with like just 4 or 5 years experience, like really like like go so
Yeah,
far.
exactly.
Whether it's true nepotism or not, because his father and all this, right? But the fact is like the dude is doing it on his own lah now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he started with his dad. So like I mean we're not gonna force our kid into pro wrestling.
Mm.
But if she wants to do it, I want to be there, still alive and still like safe and sound enough for her to
We'll
like
be able to do
yeah
with
to
her, right?
tag him or to work against even. So like yeah, so that will put me at least 53, 55 if we are following the age of like 18 to 20 in Singapore where a lot of the guys start out. Yeah, so
Right.
that's a goal as well. But if like she doesn't want to wrestle and I'm still around at 55, then okay lah. That's my other like goal reach the longevity thing.
What are the goals that you're looking at?
Right now, I'm very aware that with Ring of Rebirth, we are definitely working from the from the bottom up lah. Because like
Mm.
SPW and Grapple Max have got into a groove of like whether it's like recurring trainees or recurring shows and all that. But
Yeah.
we are still at a stage where we are experimenting with a lot of stuff and all this. So I would also like to find that stable ground where we have like more healthy inflow of like students coming in and all that. Because
Mm-hmm.
now our intake is like maybe every year is just like a small handful. And now
Okay.
the handful, like of course people quit, a lot of people quit when they realize that oh shit, wrestling not for them.
Yeah,
And
it
why
happens.
is it painful? So like a retention of a strong core team. Currently right now, like I mentioned, I'm very proud of like the people who've made it through to the tapings and all that. Because almost everyone's like wrestled for another company. Uh, so like I like to work with this team, and then we like to like have more generations of Arwah guys come through.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to like, I mean, you've been for Arwah wrestling tapings, but Arwah wrestling is very infrequent. Like it may happen like at this point in time, or when we have the media team ready and we have like all the guys ready, then okay, it will happen at another point in time. And then
Okay.
every year I realized we're only on course of like taping like 5 episodes and then
Uh-huh.
releasing 5 episodes. So it's become like some mini series thing. But I'm not too perturbed because like in the era of streaming and Netflix, right? So like I write the angles for that like according to like something that can be streamed and enjoyed and all this. But
Yeah.
still long way to go to being like Booker of the Year for like
Right.
according to Dave Meltzer. But
Okay.
that's not something to aspire to be, but it's still a long way out because like, I'm learning so much, like
Okay.
you and I both come from like editorial backgrounds and all that. And it's so different writing for like a feature story or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
an investigative piece compared to like writing for like 10 people who you want to interconnect and you want to like have
Mm,
development with them. Or if someone gets injured, how you gonna write them out? Or if someone
yeah.
has a baby, how you gonna write them out? So like wow. Like that sometimes keeps me up at night. Or it wakes me up at night and then I cannot go back to sleep because thinking like, hey, how are this? Okay, what you gonna do next? I don't know. Then like you just like thinking about this at odd hours. Yeah, so like I just want to find more stability and like find my cloud in wrestling because like I think being
Mm.
like 2 years old only, we are still infancy of infancy. Our baby is like barely ready for infant care at this point compared to the other two companies in Singapore. But the other two companies have been very gracious because they are veterans, their promoters have always like reached out, like they've given me tips. They've
Nice.
been very nice to like I'm glad we're all still friends.
Yeah.
Like they've given me tips, like
Okay.
encouragement, they've lent talent and all that.
Mm.
So like yeah, I want it to be a more stable show, a more well produced show, just like a better wrestling show on the whole.
Are
Yeah.
you the
So,
only one that's doing the creative side of things? The only one writing the scripts?
right now, yes.
Okay.
Right now I'm the sole owner also. So like the other co-founder left the company late last year.
Okay.
So I always liken this thing to I'm not sure if you're a DC fan, but some of my guys are DC fans.
Not
So
really.
yeah, so I'm saying that in a way like I'm not saying I'm James Gunn, I'm far from James Gunn, but I have to like continuously like revamp or reboot stuff
I
and all that.
see.
So
Okay,
like
okay.
our wrestling was a soft reboot of like the team events from before. And
Uh-huh.
then our experience is like it's not a reboot, but it's like something on the side where like take away the cameras from the guys because like some of my guys admittedly did say that it's pressuring to be
Hmm.
told that you're being filmed for YouTube uh,
Okay, okay.
exposure. Of course, they embrace it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also difficult because like they are going into the matches thinking, or even in the pre-tape promos or pre-tape skits like page
Uh-huh.
storyline stuff, right? They're going to it knowing that this stuff is going to be like shown online to fans or maybe non-fans or even to
Mm.
haters and all that. So you
Mm.
put them in the mind frame of like I need to wrestle or hit a certain level, and then like
Yeah.
this time round, like I figured that like we took off this kind of like
The
mental
pressure.
blocks. Yeah. Then let's see how everyone performs. And,
Mm. Okay.
yeah, so hence the whole Arwa experience,
I see.
which is
So,
coming on 29 September at 4 p.m. You can DM me at Eurasian Dragon or at Ring of Rebirth for details, or if you want to like book a place here to watch the show and all that. Because I mean, you've been for our shows; it's limited seating, and every show, like I don't know, if it's good or bad, but we always have a cycle of fans. Like certain amount of people who watch this taping, they won't get to watch the other one. And then for the performers, it's exciting or it's more pressuring because you are playing to like half of them new audience, half of them are the audience that follow through and all that. Yeah.
okay, so
So yeah,
just wanted to just for the fans, the ones that's listening, ROR has always been made film taped in the studio, and then after that put it up on YouTube. So
yeah,
like a series of shows, right, with different themes, and then but for this one, the upcoming event on the 29th
yeah. On the 29th
September.
September. Yeah.
So this one is a slightly different production, but it's live show. It's not taped, right?
First ever live show in a sense.
And
Yeah.
then also, what else is happening at the event?
Yeah. So we have some personnel changes as well because like I realized that my company also like as much as we allow it to be a transition place for external wrestlers, it's also a transition place for new and existing wrestlers because there are quite a few fathers here. So like sometimes people have to go take care of their kids or their wife that's giving
Okay.
birth. And then like there are also people working strenuous jobs and all that. So because of some personnel changes and all that, someone is coming back from his honeymoon and all this.
Wow.
So instead of like rushing into ROR wrestling, we're trying to make it like a fun, interactive pop-up kind of event. Hence, like
Okay.
we want to have a Q&A at the end. We never had a Q&A at the end. We want to have some like mini games at the banner outside. First thing that comes to mind is like stuff that Million Dollar Man used to do. Ted DiBiase Senior used to like challenge people to like mini games and stuff. So like yeah, I
Uh-huh.
still haven't wrapped my head about what the mini games of the year are like. You're playing it against like our wrestlers. So if you
I
win, maybe
see.
you will win a prize. No, maybe you'll definitely win a prize. But
Okay.
the prizes are still up to my discretion. Chances are
Okay.
it'll be Ring of Rebirth related. Maybe you get one of our new T-shirts. Maybe
Okay.
you get like access to the following taping and stuff like that. And yeah, you're right. No, like Nina mentioned. Thanks for mentioning. Like we've always been a tape show from our very first show from Fresh Start. Our only ever live co-production one is Dragon Gate last year. Yeah, also taped for the Dragon Gate network, and some of the footage was owned by us, but majority of the footage is owned by Dragon Gate
Right.
Entertainment. So like everything is like always been taped. So this is our first time. I mean, technically we got one guy still using camera lah, like for our own efforts.
Right,
And
right.
then another guy is gonna like go live on Instagram or on Facebook or
Oh,
because we've never
okay.
gone live, but
Mm.
not like for the full match. Maybe like you just show people a bit of like of teasers and then we cut it off. Teasers, cut it off. So at least people like feel enticed for coming for like next ROI experience, if any. I hope there's more lah. Hopefully this is a success. So like it gives us inclination to like maybe like tape some stuff on YouTube 1 month and then the following month do a ROI experience where it's more laid back, like fun, and a song is going to be sung. Like two of
Yeah,
my
what was that about? Like what song?
no, because like originally we wanted an acoustic set. We
Oh.
wanted like a music set. So I reached out to young parents who is incidentally Mr. Preuss from SPW. So like we
Oh,
got to
okay.
talking and all that, and then in the end, Mr. Foy's his sister-in-law getting married that weekend, so Mr. Foy's cannot sing song.
Oh.
And then wrestling is such a cutthroat business, right? When like my
Yeah.
guys heard that the young parents and Mr. Foy's couldn't perform,
Uh-huh.
two guys suddenly say, "Hey, I got guitar. Hey, I can like sing acoustic song and all that." They're like, "Oh, okay, bring your guitar next training. Let me hear first." So in a
So
way,
it's
I'm
gonna be
auditioning.
the RR wrestlers gonna
Yeah,
be
we want to sing song for you guys. But honestly, this whole song thing, right, is like I try to keep my finger on the pulse of pro wrestling. So like
okay.
I've always been a big fan of Joe Hendry, or
Ah,
more like his music stuff. Like I haven't really seen that many of his matches,
right,
but
right.
I like what he's been doing, and then I realized that okay lah, I have to like feel some stuff of the hottest thing in NXT now. So like put there in the copywriting, the song is gonna be sung, so let people think of what song they're gonna sing. And all
Yeah, when I saw that in the caption, I was like, and a song to be sung. I'm like, hmm.
that.
I mean, it's
So
intriguing. Yeah.
I have like backlogs of like Instagram DMs from my guys to like watch them singing songs. So, like, I've seen the thumbnails of the videos they holding the guitar already. So like
Oh, wow.
okay lah. Let's see lah. Song can be sung either in the ring or maybe at the booth outside lah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
nice
so
to see that they are also enthusiastic about this.
it's cool. It's cool. It's cool because
Yeah.
like we are like operating like I say like in a way we're operating at half strength. We reach a point of time in the year where and this is the same problem faced by the other two promotions where people like leaving to face their other aspirations and
Mm,
family commitments and stuff.
yeah.
So like incidentally I am left with the Arwah originals like with like Parun, Afi, Mr. Gelang, all this.
Oh, okay.
Uh, some of my trainees, so we're gonna like work around that. I think
Mm,
now we can give you like an exclusive scoop also. TBK is
yeah.
gonna be there. Okay.
Oh,
The
okay,
burger
okay.
kid is gonna work against
Nice.
someone who hates fast food, who hates burgers and all that. Guy here, Afi don't like right. So like Afi and TBK are gonna
Interesting.
open they're gonna open the show.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I mean you saw how Afi is now quite nasty. TBK,
Yeah.
everyone always likes him, so like that
Yeah.
could be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And
nice
then
also because I mean, the similar size and all that.
yeah, yeah. That's what we're going for, right? Sometimes like you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. And I think wrestling booking 101 is pretty much very straightforward. You don't really need to like always swerve fans and all that. You can just give them what they're expecting to see. And for those people new to like this whole experience and all that, like something that makes them inclined to like or makes them conditioned to like, yeah, if you're starting a wrestling show, you want to start it hot. Yeah. So yeah. exclusive for you lah, since you took time to interview me today. CVC is going to be there. Uh,
Awesome.
uh, Bam Bam Bellows and Varun Khanna are going to be main
Main
eventing the show.
eventing.
Something I've always wanted to see, because Bellows like is one of my best friends in wrestling,
Mm,
and he has always said good things about Varun. Well, I've always said pretty positive things about him. And I think with Varun like working a recent match against the gym bro Benji in PSE Thailand,
okay.
Benji messaged me the next day, good reviews. Sunny, the promoter, who's also one of the gym bros,
Yep.
also said good things about him. So like, okay, what better time to like keep Varun's momentum going by putting him against like 15-year veteran, 18-year veteran, Ram Bam Bello. So like let's just see how he fares against him. First time ever, big
Nice.
heavyweight match. But I think beyond that, like both guys are very charismatic, and I want to like have that throwback to that, like those all heavyweight kind of like main
Right.
event, two charisma powerhouses, and then like, let's see how they like play the crowd and
Nice.
yeah, like whatever surprises they have up their sleeves. Because like not only are they heavyweights, but I've seen those two guys do stuff that cruiserweights only do.
Right.
Yeah, it's something that I'm really looking forward to.
Well, are you gonna be wrestling too?
Yeah, I am, but I shouldn't disclose right now because, like, like when you want to roll out marketing collateral or you want to like run a show, you sometimes want to surprise people and stuff. So
I'm
like,
just trying.
well, I am lah. Like it's a Arwah show. I cannot not wrestle for the time being, but I do want to reach the stage where like I've seen Shaukat do it in APEC. I've seen Greg do it. I've seen Andrew do it. Like where they are just like producing the show, and then like it's really nice to see them comfortable enough to give the reins to everyone. Yeah, me, I maybe I'm a bit of control freak, so I'm still the
Okay.
training wheels over here for now. But yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to reach
That's
that
fair.
point.
Oh, okay.
I kind of reached that point in a sense, actually. The Arwah Wrestling, some episodes I'm not there. But the secret,
Mm,
I mean, it's an open secret. Arwah Wrestling tapes like 2 episodes every time. So I'm still at the backstage, like, hey, you, next. Hey, you, why didn't you do that? Or, hey, you, don't forget to do this and that. So, but I
yep.
want to reach the stage where I'm just like wearing a suit backstage, like
But
literally.
right now you're wearing different hats at the same time still.
Yeah, wearing tights, doing resistance band, and then still like looking at the paper at the WhatsApp group. Hey, the next guy, your match 3 minutes. So like, yeah.
I mean, that happens when you're still starting out and you still have the passion to still do what you want to do, right?
Yeah, and it's also part of the longevity thing. So I can't always like not
Mm.
wrestle. And I just like to do it. Just like wrestling, like, like
That's why you're in this business.
yeah. It's fun. It's addictive.
Okay, so you mentioned Women Bellows. So I mean, our like the last taping that I went to, there were like the top dojo guys,
Yeah,
like people like yeah. Oh my gosh, now suddenly slipped my mind.
column.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I mean, it's all these like partnerships, right, with like
Mm-hmm.
other promotions. So how is the partnership going? You also have with APEC as well because you also go there often.
Vietnam Pro Wrestling. Uh, yeah, PW.
So
So
how is it like?
I think these partnerships usually happen like, I mean, you follow like most of us on Instagram. So like usually I realize it's always after the show. Then they'll go and like eat or drink. I mean, I used to like drinking. I don't drink anymore
Mhm.
unless it's like a birthday or even
Right.
birthday. I don't. I'm a wet blanket at parties now. Except for like maybe my sister's wedding, because that one my parents are drinking. So my parents will never drink. Then I feel like I just join in lah.
Mm,
Yeah. So the partnerships usually happen like during shows. Like you make friends. It's really just friendships actually, and then you realize that majority of people are like just trying their best to finance this thing, and then we help each other out. My partnership usually is exchange program with other companies.
mm,
So like in the past, it was me like exploring going there
okay.
and coming back, and then
Mhm.
it would send people here and all that. But now it's reached a stage. Like I say, I know like it's my guys going there, and then they are sending their guys over, and then the top dojo guys like previously like I've heard of Kumar before he wrestled at JP.
Okay.
We follow each other online, but that was my first time meeting him. Prince Benny, the guy that I wrestled at the last taping, admittedly, I didn't know much about him at all, but liked him when I met him. We clicked and all that. Even like funny cases, man, like the gym bros, because I know Sunny from my time in Vietnam Pro Wrestling. But his partner Benji like adds me on Instagram one day and like DMs me. And then like I just end up hanging out, like with the gym bros and stuff. And then like you realize, oh shit, we can do something together, PSE and ROR and all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Barun Khanna just went to TFE. He main evented the show because everyone was in the main event. It was a Royal Rumble kind of thing. But he also
Mm,
wrestled Benji, which was very big for him and for me as well, because Benji is like done OWE and other big promotions, right?
okay.
So like yeah, it's really just friendships that end up becoming working relationships. Yeah. So very exciting because that's when like, I think for fans or for like fans, followers, or even the wrestlers, we always look forward to like a show where different people come in. And we've had so many different people come in and all that, like from all over the world. In fact, like from Canada, we had Rick Soy, the Filipino Canadian. We had Aaron who wrestles in UK and Australia. Aaron O'Mani. So like it's very nice to see them like mesh with our guys and mesh with our fans as well. And then they feedback how they always enjoy this intimate setting here. If it's not glamorous, you obviously still see some industrial like boxers around. And our cameraman sometimes has to double up as the interviewer or as the
Right.
host because we're just really so strapped for time. It makes me feel, for personnel, it makes me feel like the early days, Kampong Ubi, SPW.
Right.
Where you see
Right.
Mr. Croix, like he can referee, he can host, and backstage somehow running around also. So, or you see Vadim like pressing the music, and then next moment he like backstage producing, running through like stuff with the boys and all that. So like it makes me feel like it's kind of still back in those days for me. The growth has been slow lah. I would admit that it hasn't been ideal. Like I'm not the richest guy.
Mm.
I'm a parent now. I have like more different life, goals or
Yeah. Different
direct
commitments, right?
finances. Yeah, so like people have asked me about like the whole scaling of your business thing. Then I
Yeah.
ended up scaling it really slowly and steadily
Mhm.
because I don't want to like take such a big gamble now. Some of the guys have taken big gambles. Like I really hats off to the Graphomax studio. And we've been there
Mm.
and we've seen how lovely it looks.
Yeah.
That's a big gamble on their part. But right now, if I were to do that, right, then maybe I end up living on the streets. So like I really have to like scale it at my pace and a suitable pace and something
Mm.
realistic right now.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
Take partnerships as it comes. I did tell some of my guys, those who caught the reference, that in a way, like we kind of like Pitbull, we just like featuring this guy, featuring that guy, but we are on the featuring side. We are the collaborative partners and all that. Like the whole Dragon Gate in Singapore thing, we were just like the on the ground promotion for them, like a logistics promotion to just
Right.
getting a few guys to feature and all that. So like yeah, whatever partnerships because it helps us grow. So we don't have our own space. We are subletting from SPW in Hussein. Uh, but I always console myself, with that meme that Amazon doesn't have its own office,
Right.
doesn't have its own
Right.
bookstore, Spotify has no record, so Ring of Rebirth has no ring and no actual space. We are still at the mercy of like other landlords and stuff. But
Mm.
everyone's been very gracious to us. People have been very generous to us and all that, like in whatever ways they've contributed to our dreams and making it a reality. Even though like it's growing like slowly but steadily, but it's been fun and it's not something I intend to give up on anytime soon.
Nice. I mean, okay, Singapore is already very small, right?
Yeah,
And then the Southeast Asian pro wrestling scene also, it's not even, I mean, it's not so big like Japan or, the US. So it's really
yeah,
nice to see, like, even as fans, just to see you guys like working together, having collaboration shows, like, it's just fun. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the positivity really radiates. And I like seeing that.
It does. I think you can like you say, it's infectious in a sense because it
Yeah,
really and people can feel that the boys are, can be fun and like yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's better than like, oh, this promotion like rivals with another one, and then even the fans will be
Mm.
like, then do I need to be loyal to one
The
place?
tribalism of real it's ugly
Yeah,
too. Like
yeah,
I do get a little sad sometimes when I look online and there are so many AWE haters.
exactly,
And then the AW haters will be WWE haters. And then you
exactly.
think to yourself, like for me, like I watch both. I mean, admittedly, I'm still a WWE fan more.
Uh-huh.
That's what we all grew up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watch both and I'm like just as entertained like either, like uh, sometimes people ask me like, oh, I thought you like classic wrestling, so how come you watch AEW? And I say, yeah, but thing is that Billy Gunn is that they are still classic wrestlers, but these are people picking up with. And
Yeah.
along the way, I get caught up with their newer guys and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Young Bucks a lot in New Japan, so I like seeing what their venture is like now and all that. Yeah, I feel wrestling really is for everyone. You really shouldn't restrict yourself as to what you can watch and all that.
Exactly.
We shouldn't shoehorn ourselves into like like tunnel visions of like, oh,
Yeah.
I can only watch this form of wrestling. And I think like when you mentioned earlier, each of the Singapore promotions have their own genres. Even so, you realize the performers are not keeping themselves inside that box. See, like if you go to any of our shows, any of the pre-promotion shows, you do see like people finding sources of creativity, and then they're actually implementing it into their performance. They
Yeah.
keep things very fresh. I've never been bored SPW show or Grapple Max show. And I mean, of course, for my own show, I shouldn't say I've been bored. But yeah, I've never been bored at any of the shows here. And I think it's a testament to how well everyone works, like to really making sure that fans get their money's worth, or fans are paying fans, right? And then they're spending that time on the weekend with you. So I think people have always done a good job entertaining people. Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, speaking of like working with, the Dragon Gate and
Yeah.
Top
Yeah.
Dojo and all that, you've also worked with Mihar Singh.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
the
yeah.
one the like the old I think probably one of the oldest living Singaporean
Yes,
pro wrestler, right?
yes, yes, yes.
So how was the experience like?
Oh, it's wonderful, man. Like, yeah, I'm so thankful that you put up the highlight reel of him, the one you did on him
Yes.
and Donald Takeshi, because I feel that the whole gay world era, right, is lost to
Hmm.
time. It's only like
Yeah.
kept alive by some newspaper clippings that you can only
Yeah.
find through NLB resources and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't even have VHS of them and all that. They
Yeah.
were the original Aroa experience in the sense that you only watch live and then that's it.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, yeah, but it's wonderful because Meha Singh, he had such a vibrant love for the business. Um, and just hearing his stories and hearing his point of views of how the territory system died and all that, and how like, even he was affected by the death of KFAB and the death of the territory
Yeah.
system, and how he's so passionate for like how things are supposed to be done in a certain way, how he enjoys like how we are doing things a certain way and all that. Like really, really very humbling. And every time he's graced us with his presence, like just wonderful. And to see him like enjoy the work that you are doing, it's a sort of validation. And I try to reach the point where, like beyond validation, but screw that. I know we're all pro wrestlers. We are always seeking validation. We won't be like screening on our Instagrams and stuff like that. Like but coming from him, it's a different form of like respect and all that. So it's
Mm.
wonderful working him. Like he didn't come in and do like the ROR. Well, the one he did with you, the one on ROR Raya. Yeah, he beat up Earthy on Hari Raya. Then like the next few times we saw Earthy eventually became evil. uh, yeah, it was wonderful working with him, man. And it was also nice putting him against Earthy and John Day because they're so young, right?
Yeah, the
Like
contrast.
really huge generation gap, and then and then him siding with the millennial guys, with like me and Jack Chong, BGJ, over the Gen Z guys, and then like saying, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen them yet." That's his excuse to why he beat them up. like
How do you get to know Mihar Singh? How do you reach out to him?
Facebook, like you see
Okay.
people you know. Then I've seen him at a SPW show. We were
Oh,
going outside, in the Chinese, no, not Chinese clan. Chinese clan, yes, the Topayo Chinese clan days. We've
okay.
been there from the start.
I
I'm sure you remember.
see. Oh,
So, people would go out and have their drink and their cigarettes and all that. So,
yeah.
like, I went out also. It was after, oh no, I was already not with SPW at the time, but I think I
Okay.
was doing a match there because they were very fortunate to book me when I just started. I wanted to get me off
Oh,
the,
okay.
the ground running and all that. So I went out to the smoking area and all that. And then he was there, and then he asked
Mm.
me, "Hey boy, you got a lighter?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I have a lighter." And then I looked at him, I was like, "Hey, you look really familiar, man." And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm Neha Singh." And I was with Big T at the time. We were just chilling
Okay.
there.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Big T and I immediately, like, there's a switch in our head. Just like when you are around a veteran, you have to respect the legend of the earth, as late Iron Sheik used to say, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
immediately like, oh, sir, oh, hi, hello, sir. my name is Eurasian Dragon. This is my name is Big P. Like we really respect you and what you've done with the business. And then we just got to talking, and then he runs down how he feels about the event, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he felt could have been done better. And it was really sweet because he was carrying around labels of like he was carrying around booklets of NWA Guide to Chain Wrestling. And then he
Okay.
just like, gave me a big P one. And then eventually
Wow.
it comes for like ROR taping and all that. He also gives like everyone one as well. So it's really cool of him. So we just got to talking. Turns out that we get along really well.
Uh-huh.
And we eventually did that one event with us. But if you catch the other events, eagle-eyed fans will catch that he was seated in the front row for a couple of events before that as well. So like he was watching, he was enjoying it. And like he told me before that he doesn't want to leave the wrestling industry with people forgetting him. He still wants to be remembered. Like even at his right age of like, I don't remember how old is he, but he's like
Like almost
75,
70. Yeah.
75, and
Yeah.
then like he still wants to like contribute and all that. So like when you ask that time, like, is he ever coming back? And it's a
Yeah.
resounding yes, definitely. Definitely would love to work with Mr. Singh again. Wonderful guy, wonderful guy.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see, and also to let the fans know that there's an actual veteran still
Yeah,
around,
yeah, exactly,
because like
exactly.
when I was doing my research on him, like you said, like it's just on NLB, like even on
Yeah,
NLB itself, it's so hard to get
exactly,
his
exactly.
pictures or anything about him.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I was very excited doing that research and putting together the video to put out on social media, because I feel like this is honestly, if I don't do it, it will be a missed opportunity,
yeah, exactly,
because
exactly.
like even you yourself, like how many chances can you get to be in the presence of an actual veteran
Yeah,
in the industry that we love?
exactly.
Right?
It's like rub shoulders with like the greats and all that, like with
Yeah,
the bloodline family, with with Andre the Giant, his referees match. We've known
exactly,
like so many people that have passed through Singapore and all that. And, yeah,
exactly.
so it's really cool hearing the stories from him and all this. Stories, a lot of them that cannot be repeated here because it's meant just, like for the boys,
That's
but he tells the stories that you realize that sometimes people don't really change much. Like we always like to have fun and stuff. But yeah, it's really, really cool to work with me, Singh. So like, I think one thing that's very humbling on this pro wrestling journey,
hmm.
like, yeah, as a pro wrestler, and I was one of the so-called journeyman guys, right? Along with
Okay.
the other dude who like go to different countries and wrestle and stuff. Uh, but now, like as a promoter, also like, and as a coach, like you see things from a different lens, and people also help you from a different perspective. They're not just like there to wrestle you and put on a good show with you, or they're not just there to like book you and have you like do this for their show. But like you said, we're talking like partnerships, cross promotional development. There's a lot of think tank activities going on, but not in a sterile way where you're forced to sit in a room
Right.
and think of ideas, but
Uh-huh.
just casually shooting ideas to one another, being there for each other, encouraging each other, like not just in your in-ring pursuits, but outside
Mm.
of the ring pursuits as well. So it's very humbling to see because like we are really all the same, even though we are different. It's cool. We are all we all have that same love, and
Yeah.
nothing can break that connection. People may not like one another, but we all have to realize that we are so similar in that aspect. That's the commonality between all of us, the common denominator that ties us all together in the wrestling scene. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So, I mean, maybe I want to know about like your aspirations and goals for ROR, and then in terms of like the Singapore pro wrestling scene in general.
Definitely along the way, I want to run an external ROR OVE show. Because
Okay.
like I said, my only external show was a co-production with Dragon Gate, right? So like, not that it's a cop out or anything, but I think it's still a great honor for Dragon Gate to work with us. I mean, like,
Yeah.
for us to work with them. Sorry, like it was so humbling and such a big avenue for us to open our eyes to see how a major promotion from Japan works. So like definitely the big goal, even though it's so simple in nature, right? Like because SPW and Grapple Max have done it before and many times to boot. But I want to just have that ROR external out of the dojo, like just us. I mean, we still want to work with like wrestlers from the other two promotions here and people coming in to work, but just our banner, you know. So,
Yeah.
so it hasn't happened yet, but it definitely has to happen at some point in the future. And definitely, we would love to have you there for it. To have
Yeah,
much
we'll
as
look out for
possible. Sorry.
we'll look out for the update.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, no, I'm scaling it at our pace. Trying to not take too many risks right now. Like
Mm.
really just trying to uh, push it as far as I can go at this level before I like reevaluate my stuff and all that and see in what direction we can go to following this.
That's fair. So, what about like I guess for maybe any more collaborations with like the local promotions or any other promotions in the region?
Um, I Ahmad Arif, the guy who plays the delivery rider role, the
Yeah.
delivery bag is here. He's got like one bag here and one in Malaysia apparently. I mean, yeah, just to peel back the curtain a bit. Lah. Yeah, so he was featuring for Shaukat's Ground Zero uh, concept show. So
Okay.
Ground Zero is not very different from the ROI experience actually. So like it's just their student only show. So their students
Mm-hmm.
are always like few veterans, but they've got a massive roster. So they can afford
Okay.
to do that. So he's been featuring there a bit. So like in the future, I'm going to start sending more people to Ground Zero as well because like a feature with Nick in their main tapings at their main shows, but
Mm-hmm.
we want to like send more of our guys just across the causeway to like get their feet wet in a different environment. And some more
Ah,
like Gabe Sapolsky just gave them props, right? Like Instagram, go up, yeah, their public standing and all that. So
okay.
like you want to associate with winners, so that's just me
Yeah, for
riding
sure.
tails and all that of like trying to send my guys to the promotion that is the hot promotion right now. But yeah, just want to still continue having collaborations or enjoying collaborations with these other places because like that's the best room for growth. Like you can like learn in your own school and all that, but it's when you like go other schools then you realize like on different formulas to like
Yeah.
excel. Yeah.
Okay, so that is more on like the ROR side of things. But what about for yourself personally? Any goals that you're hoping to achieve soon?
Yeah, I was fortunate to become the BPW Tag Team Champion last year along with BGJ. And we had
Mm.
a short-lived Big Bad Boys Tag Team. Back then, our goal was to hold the BPW Tag Team Championships for 100 years. It didn't happen. So like definitely, it's nice winning a championship outside of your promotion because
Mm.
once again, it's a measure of validation and respect. Or
Yeah.
what's the word? Uh, they're tasking you like carrying the ball for them,
Yeah.
despite you being from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we'd love to win another promotions championship again down the line. We'd love to also headline like another show down the line for other promotions. Because it's easy to headline your own shows, right? When there's only two veteran wrestlers and stuff. But you still want to like show that you can still go in like other
Yeah.
places as well.
Yeah.
And you also get to show like different parts of your game in other places. So that's just me personally. I still want to keep up the journeyman thing. Although I don't do it as often as before now, like I'm staying home to take care of my kid and all that stuff. But I want to keep that stuff up. I think like today, central theme has been like longevity and like the big picture. We have been circling back to that point. So
Yeah.
just keep tugging along, man. Just keep trying to do this more and all that. One of my big dreams like was always to like wrestle in the hot bits, US, UK,
Mm.
Japan. But that is something that definitely had to be put on hold because like I can't exactly leave home for 2 weeks to a month at a time right now. And I
Yeah.
realize other fathers as well, they wait for their kids to get a little bigger when they don't really need you that much. And then they go abroad. Like Shaukat did the OPW and ROW taping.
Yeah.
We got to see like how old his kids are and
Yeah.
stuff like that. When he was younger and when his kids, because I've seen his kids since they were like babies.
Yeah.
So they were
Yeah.
babies, like he only wrestled in Singapore. And now I understand why, because like my kid is a baby and I'm only wrestling in KL. But I'm fortunate enough, like on a family holiday earlier this year, I wrestled for PWS, Pro Wrestling Society in Korea.
Nice.
That was my kid's debut appearance in a wrestling show, Sid. she was part of the entrance promo
That's
for me. And then
cute.
everyone gave her like big pop, bigger pop, I remember.
Oh, oh.
And then she also did an appearance at an Arwah wrestling taping, not the one you had, previous one,
Okay.
where she came to the front and then, not really a spoiler alert since it's going to be released soon. Right? I announced that I signed my own daughter to a lifetime contract in Arwah. But I'm a villain, right? So like, what kind of villain will like? Villain would definitely like make use of their own kids for labor, signing them to lifetime ironclad deals and all that. So many like family businesses in Singapore have expectations. You want your son to run your Teh Tarik store or run your Hell Notes store and all that to the next generation. But whether they want to or not is a different thing. Maybe he wants to be a banker or a doctor, and then that will make me not pleased because I wanted to be wrestling promoter. Even though it's not financially feasible to keep wrestling promoting over like a white collar job.
You want them poor but wrestling.
Yeah, start markings for the win. Which will make me even more of a heel if that happens in the future. But yeah,
Yeah,
like I said,
it'll be
it's her choice.
funny.
It's her choice. But her storyline has already been locked into place. Cannot force into like the family business thing. So
Nice.
yeah, so I'm glad that she got to experience part of this journey with me. Saw me wrestle overseas some more. Saw me
Yeah.
wrestle here in Singapore. So yeah, maybe another goal is for her to see me win that championship, whether it's overseas or like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. That's nice. I mean, to include your daughter in all this, like your family in this
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah. I mean, like Vince McMahon did it. I mean, is it okay to say Vince McMahon? He
I mean,
did it.
there's so many WWE wrestlers also do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know?
It gets great reactions, Like they
Yeah.
asked me to play a baby face in Korea. And I told them, shit, I haven't been a baby face in like 2 years, but I have been one for 8 years prior to the pandemic. So let me just see what I can pull out. And then like I looked at the daughter who was going to be there. I was like, "Hey, can she be part of the angle?" And then they're like, "Yeah, sure." And they were like, "Can we say that we want to like murder you in front of your daughter after the match? Like when we beat you down." I said, "Yeah, sure." So like it worked both ways. It had a good thought.
But how was her
So
reaction to?
she's shy, she's shy. Most
Oh, is
times she
it?
feels like she gets the big pop, she gets shy. But
Oh,
after that, when she watches the footage on YouTube and all that, it's
uh-huh.
become a core memory. She just loves
Oh, that's
watching the
nice.
fans doing the sage. So like sometimes she motions to me when she wants to watch it on YouTube.
Is it?
She'll just look at me and then she'll like point to the phone or point at the TV and then she'll just do this. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, okay, you
wow.
want to see yourself on TV. So yeah, it's really, really cool. She watches like all the PLEs and all the WWE highlights with her mom and with my wife and
Oh,
myself. So
really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she's a big fan of the bloodline. She knows how
So
to talk
she's
to them.
already part of it. Like,
Yeah, the one sign and all that.
oh
Like
my
she sees them
God.
with the entrance. Roman Reigns' his recent return. She sits in front of the TV and then she does the one side. So like, yeah, sure,
Oh,
why
that's
not? Why
cute.
not?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
nepotism is really part of wrestling too. There's so
Yes,
many wrestlers who bring in their kids and then they grow up to be wrestlers too. So,
yes, exactly.
it's cool. I know like the word nepotism is negative in Hollywood, but in wrestling, it's a positive thing.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and
Yeah, exactly.
people pride themselves on bringing their family into the business. So, uh, yeah, that's the family life. It's fun, it's really
Nice.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it also helps that your family is part of, like, they're accepting of your wrestling journey, so it
Yeah,
helps you to run the business as well.
they've always been. They've always been. I think you've seen my parents at the events like
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Then, like when I first met my wife, turns out she's a Triple H fan, Attitude Era fan. And oh, thank goodness
Oh,
she understands why I need to go and train,
nice.
get
Wow,
stuff done, and all
lucky.
that. So, like, yeah. So they've been very supportive. I've had it good in the sense that I've seen other wrestlers struggle. Like their
Yeah,
spouses don't like what they're doing,
yeah,
their parents don't like what they're doing, and then
yeah.
it's really difficult for them to
Mm,
find time or to justify, what they're doing.
mm, yeah. Oh, I mean, okay, you mentioned that your roster, that's mostly Gen Zs. Do they face such issues, like from family and all that?
Yeah, yeah. And, like, I guess that's what bonds us even more because like it pops up in like group chats and all that. Like someone like maybe gets hurt a little bit at training, and then like a feedback after that from his parents is like, "Oh, you need to stop wrestling." And then like you just hear like not just fellow Gen Zs giving the tips, but also like millennials with the Gen Ys, also just like just factoring in like, "Oh, maybe this is how you can angle it with your parents, still respect your parents' wishes and stuff like that."
Yeah.
So there's that sense, like I said, the commonalities that we all love pro wrestling, and it really manifests itself when you see it through the good times and the bad times too. When you really see each other like stick it through together. Yeah,
I mean, your parents have been very supportive. Are they
yeah.
also wrestling fans?
My dad is lah. My mom never was, but then like after watching like the old days SPW and now
Uh-huh.
RO and all that,
Uh-huh.
like somehow by default became one. Like my harshest critic also. She tells me when like I've gained weight. She tells me she
Oh
didn't like my
no.
dad. Or she'll tell me like, like, yesterday, like your student like outworked you and stuff like that. It's good, it's good. Because like my dad is my number one fan. So he's everything like, oh yeah, very good, very entertaining. So my mom is the opposite by like, oh no, you're not getting very good, you're losing your touch and stuff like that.
Constructive criticism.
Well, not even constructive, just straight to the face. But it's good that way. It's good that way because like if your mom tells you that, right, then you know you're gonna work harder and stuff. So like yeah, I just like made lifestyle changes. I think we talked about this at the start. The whole longevity thing. I used to wrestle at 100 kg. I used to be between 100 and 105. I am now wrestling at 88 kg. I have lost
Oh,
like
well done.
thanks about
Yeah.
17
Wow.
kilograms in the past one
Mm,
year. But
nice.
it's to keep up with my daughter. I realized I don't want to like like not be able to run around with her. I bring her for walks on the weekends. It's very
Mm.
tiring, but I thank my wrestling background or wrestling training. She's at the stage where she likes to squat and stand, squat and stand. And then, oh, thank goodness, like we squat all the time over here.
Yeah.
We do like hundreds of squats. So she does like very, what's the word? Very true to form squats. Because baby, right? Very
Yeah,
mobile.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
off the ground, stays there, then stands back up. And I'm just glad I can keep doing it with her. It makes her happy, makes her laugh and all that. So like, squatting to standing is good. Um, and like, yeah, the
Running
longevity thing
around.
also applies to so being able to be fit enough to see her through her best years right now.
Nice.
So it's gonna come a day where she's not gonna like me anymore. She's gonna like friends or
The
shudder
teenage
to think
years.
boyfriend and all that stuff. Then like yeah, I can maybe no, I shouldn't take the gas off the pedal, especially if I want to hit 55 or 60. But yeah, it's something that's affected me positively a lot. This all this little lifestyle changes and stuff. I
Nice.
really enjoy the quality of life a lot more. Sleeping better now. I
Great.
feel I'm working better in the ring now than I was like maybe 10 years ago. And I just feel like very positive about the times to come.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to share about,
Yeah,
yeah, one
yeah.
last thing?
Um, yeah, one last thing is like, I would like everyone as much as possible to come for the Arua experience 29 September because like I think like the best way to watch pro wrestling is live. And then since we want to immerse you into our world, it's it's hopefully we are Singapore's best kept secret because the other companies like have the head start on us, right? But we want to show that even though we're a small outfit, we are just as fun to be around and we're just as spirited. We're not be as tenured as them, not
Mm-hmm.
as smooth or as polished or whatever, right? But we really like love wrestling as much as they do, and it definitely shows in our work as well. So I want everyone to come down at 4 p.m. Like I said, DM me at Eurasian Dragon, DM at Ring of Rebirth to reserve the slot. And I want you to stay for the ROI experience as well. I mentioned we're restructuring. We're always looking out for new talent. So like if you like time spent at the ROI experience, but you cannot make it for the day and you want to like check us out, our first training is always free. So same thing, DM me or DM the Ring of Rebirth. And at least you can come down and experience it in in-ring kind of setting and see whether the guys here are your fancy, if you like our coaching, if you like uh, the people that you're going to be working with and all that. Because we're always looking for new blood in the ring and outside the ring as well. We're always looking for people who are able to like help with the media stuff, the marketing stuff, like logistic stuff and all that. So we want to like be a safe space. We want to be like a fun space for people to chase their dreams. Yeah.
Nice. So you mentioned that the first class is free, right?
But yeah,
Ah, okay.
for
Nice.
everyone. Yeah.
I think a lot of people it maybe a little bit of a deterrence where they're like they see pro wrestling and then they're like, do I want to try it out? Then they like back off
Yeah.
even before even trying it.
Yes.
Like, what do you say to people like that? Like maybe just to make them like, just try
Oh,
it.
reassure.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, no harm trying. That's what I always feel. Then life, like, you live life once only. Then, like, would you want to, like, die one day not knowing how it's like trying out? And, like, if you come here and try, right, you realize that all of us respect the business so much. And we respect each other as well. Someone on his first day here is respected as much as someone who's like 10 years here. We're not going to put you down or anything. And if you try it, you try it. You try it and realize it's not for you, then it's all right. If you try it and maybe you got hurt and you feel like the pain, you want to take it anymore, it's all cool because you tried. But, like at least you try it. Then if you try and you like it, maybe you become like the next big Singapore wrestling star and all that. Then all power to you, right? So there's
Yeah.
really no negatives in just trying. You can stop at any time. I'm not gonna like force you to stay for the 2 hours, 1 hour training. You say like maybe at the start we're doing head rotations, then your head pain or what, you want to sit out like but at least you came, at least you got your foot through the door. And I think that's most important. You just have to try it once, shoot your shot. Yeah. And then likewise for the RO experience show, if you never watched live wrestling, or if you're a wrestling fan who's seen the other promotions but hasn't given us a try yet, at least come and try lah. See something different, and then if you liked it, you liked it. Good for me, good for you. If you didn't like it, happy you came. I'm glad that gave us a chance. Yeah. So I think the basis is really just got to try it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I hope that more fans get to know about Ring of Rebirth, and also to get down to the the experience event, and just
Yeah.
to even like talk to the roster. I think that could also help. Just to get to know the roster a little bit more, say
Yeah.
hi and all that, and
I,
just to make yourself comfortable, and then
I
you try
think before we leave, maybe this is another exclusive of scoop for you.
it. Oh,
So for people listening, I'd like to formally invite you. You can decline me if you want to be the moderator of the Q&A, because you are the only person in Singapore with experience moderating a pro wrestling Q&A. I think like with your background and you know us, you know wrestling in Singapore pretty well. You'll be the right person to ask for the job. Would you like to
oh,
do it on the
oh,
day
wow.
itself
Are you
after
asking me on the
the
spot?
yeah, yeah, on the
um,
spot, yeah,
I mean, I would love to. Maybe we can talk about it more after the
yes,
recording. But
of course,
yeah, I mean, I'm very I appreciate that, like what you said. I do try to be like I guess unbiased as much as I can,
yes, of
to
course,
just to because my goal really with Lion City Wrestling Cult is just to document the growth of pro wrestling in Singapore. So I, for one, am glad to see that there's you still around doing this, just trying to grow the scene together,
yeah,
and I think that's great. Yeah. So thank you so much to be on this
problem.
episode.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Thanks for
your
having me.
yeah, like your growth in wrestling, and then your vision, and then the stories that you share with about Mihar Singh, your family.
Yeah,
It's great seeing you being happy right now.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me on the show. Really good to always have platforms to like share our stories and to invite new people to join us. So thank you very much for this. Really
thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, and thank you for inviting me to the experience. I'll be there for sure.
Sure, sure, sure. Still hoping that you'll be our moderator, but thanks for coming to the experience. We hope to see all you other listeners or viewers there as well. Take care, Nina. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.